Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Indie Credible Podcast. This is episode 62. One of your hosts, Xander Scully, and joined with me is Jeff. What's up, Jeff?
What is going on? We're into 2026, and that starts our third year podcast, third calendar year. We didn't do a full first year, but it's very, very interesting, and we're going to go down the indie rabbit hole in 26 and hopefully play some more indie games.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, 2025 has come to a close, but, an episode isn't an episode without some Kyle's Trials. And I was looking at the docket, and it said, Kyle's Trials, tons of stuff.
Well, so being in the holiday season, I'm working like half days and things like that. So we've had time to go through a lot of boxes, and it's been massive. Like, those giant 4-gallon bags that they make for Ziploc?
Yeah.
We opened up a box and there was like 4 or 5 of those filled with G.I. Joes, for example.
Oh,
filled. Like thousands of G.I. So I brought out a few items. I got a T-shirt, a video gamey thing, and then some pictures. Because one thing is that Kyle and I, back when I was in college, we went to some pro wrestling shows. So then Kyle started going down the rabbit hole, and he was always a fan of the hardcore. So check out this. This was hanging in his room.
Oh my gosh.
And
legend.
This is Sabu in the middle. On this side is Abdullah the Butcher, and then Sabu's uncle, the Sheik, who used to run promotions in Michigan. And it's not the Iron Sheik; it's the original Sheik, Ed Farhat. And so that is the craziness of Kyle is he had all that up on his walls. But then there's this, which this was from a show in 2000 that Kyle and I went to, and we got Sabu's signature.
Oh, that's so cool. It's great.
It's an ECW shot. So, yeah, and then the classic Kyle, he has little rope back here to hang it on the back. Yeah, and so I don't just have 2 pictures. We have 20, 30 pictures. And there's horror movies, there's Doom stuff. There's I have one that's on the wall, and it's the guys that we showed off from Doom.
Yeah.
The John Romero and the team from back in the day, and the picture it's signed to our old podcast, Focus Militia. And then went through and found a whole box of T-shirts, Xander. Tons of those. And so one of them I picked out, he had an original River City Ransom shirt.
Oh, that's cool. I love that.
And it's pretty dope. It's blue with yellow. And it's just a classic shirt. And then, we went through another 4-gallon bag, and it was filled with NES controllers. Tons. Every style, every type. This one, though, I thought was interesting. It is a black NES controller in the style of the Sharp TV controllers that are really rare.
Oh, it is, yeah.
But it's USB.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So for me, I want to either test it, in my PC or in one of the things that I've been tinkering with that I've been playing this last week. I feel like this might be a perfect thing with no lag to test out because, it feels like an original NES. They took the original NES parts, including this, and then just made their own. It says that it's made by Toka, something like that.
I like that.
Barcode. But yeah. There's just so many controllers. And of course, you see this that came in too late for Christmas. A Commodore 64.
Yeah, I was about to compliment that. I'm I like that Commodore 64 throw blanket. That's cool.
Yeah, it's a sweater, actually. It's yeah, it came in after Christmas, so won't be wearing it till next season.
Yeah, you're wearing it for the next episode that I'll make sure we had the audio on.
Who's to say? We'll eventually get him out there, Xander. We'll get him out there.
Now, I don't want to skip the docket. Okay. But you were showing that controller, and I felt like that was a good segue to get into something that I was really interested when I saw that you've been tinkering with something, and that is the MiSTer Multisystem 2.
Yeah, and this is something that, we've been chatting about it off episodes, and I didn't realize I pre-ordered the MiSTer Multisystem 2 in June.
Wow.
So and it just came in. But the thing is, they're made in UK. They're a FPGA, which is a fully programmable gate array console. FPGA console. So what the FPGA does is it emulates hardware, and it allows you to play it on modern displays with no lag. Unlike our audio to video sync issues that we have every episode, there's no lag on the gaming that we did. But sitting right here, I actually put it over here. I unhooked it so we could show it off. And this is the MiSTer Multisystem 2.
Oh, wow.
And it looks like a space shuttle. It has 4 USBs in the front to hook up controllers, which the NES controller would fit. SD card reader to load up any BIOS and any updates. And then you got some buttons to toggle menus and things. And there, here's the switch. This is the analog and digital version. So what this is it has a lot of extra goodies on the back.
Oh, wow.
So the digital one just has this HDMI, but this has a DVI style audio out. It has a few different video outputs and headphone jacks. This is like a Sega Genesis style cable, and you got a little switch here. You can hook up, internet drop to it, as well as another USB. And this right here is a second USB. I actually have a dongle for a wireless Bluetooth dongle, so that way I can do wireless on it, because it doesn't come with wireless in it. The other thing that's neat is right here it has this port.
Ooh, what is that?
This allows for snack adapters. So there's these little adapters you can put on and hook it up. Yeah, and you can hook up original controllers to it. So they have a Super Nintendo snack adapter. You put Super Nintendo controllers, and it has no lag at all. Because the USB will inherently have a tiny bit of 0.01 milliseconds of lag. That has 0 lag on here. Then this little slot here is the size of a credit card. It is compatible with the Zapparoo, so you can bring cards and tap them to play games.
That's really cool.
And this is fully customizable, which means you have to add the Bluetooth. You have to add in the Zapper thing inside the case. You have to open it up, which there's just screws to open it up. It's made in the UK though, not in China or nothing. So it's all premium parts. And they're made by on order. So that's why it took so long for it to come in. What I haven't really tried out was the analog side. I tried using my Sega Genesis port because I got Sega Genesis hooked up in there, and I tried using the port that I had in my CDX, and it didn't work 1-to-1. So I don't know. I don't know if I just had the little switch here in the wrong spot, or maybe the cable isn't high quality enough. But I also have a VGA coming in, because this is a VGA, and I want to try it out with my actual TV, because I feel like it'd be kind of cool to see how it plays on my PVM that I have. Yeah, this thing is like a modder's, dream. It's fun to mess with. And how this is different from the analog pocket that I can do FPGA on and put on a TV is this actually supports up to PS1 and N64. And so tinkering has been fun, because I've been playing some PS1 games with translations, Nintendo 64 games, translated, things like that. And it's been cool to play them, because it plays like I remember them and not like emulation. Because emulation feels like emulation to me.
Yeah, it does.
Feels like I'm playing on a PlayStation now. And so I was playing Adventures of Little Ralph, if you've heard of that game.
Oh, yeah. That's such a good game.
Radical Reggie, my buddy, always recommends I play that game.
That's how I found out. Yep.
Yeah. And so I played it. I played through, beat it during the last week. And then he also recommended Captain Commando, but I didn't realize that's just an arcade port. So keep in mind with the FPGA, though, that it's not like you can just load up your entire MAME ROM set on there, the arcade ROM set. It still is whatever supported with FPGA, so they have to port it to that to make it 1-for-1 arcade perfection. But then they play exactly how they felt in the arcade. It's not emulation, so it's as close as we're gonna get in. And I think it's dope, and it's Space Sabers, and so I just have it hooked up, and it's been freaking fun.
Yeah, I remember we talked about it in a previous episode, because I remember I used it as a thumbnail. So it's cool that here we are in a new episode talking about it, and it's great that it delivers too, because man, I am so tempted about the whole MiSTer thing, but as a whole rabbit hole I don't even want to think to go down.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I had to follow some tutorials. It doesn't necessarily work out of the box, but throwing in any complications in Google, which Google uses like AI now. So it gave me like step by step how to fix any problems I had. But there are like little issues, like I said, the analog audio thing didn't work. So I don't know if I have to like go onto the SD card and edit the BIOS to make sure it split, or like there's probably something I can do to fix it. And it's a tinkerer thing. Like it's if you like tinkering. Now, I have seen that it's been announced. I think they've started to ship them. There is one that's being made in China. It's called the Super Station. So the Super Station looks like an old PS1 Slim Classic looking thing. It's like one of the little rounder ones. It looks like one of those. And that will also be an FPGA, not as customizable as the MiSTer here, not using the high quality parts from the one that's made in the UK because it's kind of mass produced, but it probably kicks right out of the box a little bit better. So, and I assume it's also cheaper too.
I assume that it, like you said, it would be cheaper, and maybe it would be more like out of the box sort of thing, like maybe something to get someone into it. Because what I've always felt interesting with like the MiSTer or Raspberry Pi, is like you said, it's tinkering, and it almost becomes a hobby within itself. And I've went down that rabbit hole with emulation, where you're like, you take emulation and you try to make it as real as possible. But I know with the FPGA, I mean, that's a totally different thing. It's not emulation like, like ZSNES or something like that. But that's really cool. That's so cool.
I think it's pretty dope too that like it actually supports the MSU stuff for Super Nintendo, so I can play with CD audio. So I tried that. It's not fully compatible with the MSU for Sega Genesis because that does exist. That's a rabbit hole we haven't even went down on the podcast because I haven't really messed around with it. I know it works with emulation, but like being able to play it like I was playing Rock and Roll Racing with actual music from the rock and roll bands while I'm playing Rock and Roll Racing.
That's so cool.
And it's the Super Nintendo version, so it plays like I'm renting the game, which to me is like it just hits a little different. My goal when I pre-ordered this was I was going to use it for the more disc-based systems, and then the retro stuff still on the Analog Pocket. But this does all the analog stuff perfectly, and with all the USB, like I have one where it's just hooked up to a keyboard, so I can load up Commodore games perfectly, or C64 or Amiga or whatever, and dig down that rabbit hole too. So the only thing is though, from an emulation perspective, it doesn't hit everything. Because obviously after PS1, you have PS2, PS3 emulation that you can do on a mini PC.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't do it all. And I feel like I don't need an FPGA for those because the emulation is pretty much a PC.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's pretty damn good. But it doesn't fully eliminate the need for like a PC to do some emulation if I want to play all the things. Because what I'm trying to do, Xander, because we do the Kyle Strauss every week. I'm trying to avoid my house just being filled with things. I want curated, specialized, like a Metroidvania collection, a Zelda-like 2D collection, certain consoles, like I got TurboGrafx, like certain specialties, and that's about it. Like I want to curate. And what I want to collect really cool shit for too. And so, it's been getting into that.
I think that's what a lot of like collectors, like longtime collectors, because I'm in the same boat, and I think a lot of listeners who have been collecting for years, like you and myself, are in the same boat. Where it's like at one point we wanted to have everything, like we wanted everything from our childhood, everything that we could possibly get our hands on, and then you have all this shit, and you're like, okay, I got all this stuff, I don't really need all this stuff, and then you start to really like focus on like certain items or certain genres, like you said, a Metroidvania section. And like for me, it's like Genesis homebrews, like I don't want to buy a Genesis to get every single Genesis game. I want to buy a Genesis to get Genesis homebrews. And I think that's really interesting.
And you're like spot on with your assessment that like we went for all the things because like 20 years ago or longer, like everything was out there too. You could hunt it down at like thrift stores.
Yeah.
And to me, that's when like a lot of people started doing the set collecting and doing all the things. And there was a time when going for a set like the NES set that I have, and it's like, man, why am I collecting all these games that I'm not going to play? Because there's all the games. You're collecting the Sesame Street games. I'm not going to play those.
Exactly.
Like, And my kid's a teenager now. She's not going to play those. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just those things. It's like collecting it to have a full shelf, or do I want to collect it to have a curated rental shelf? Like, I like the rental display because I actually created some shelving for that, and I'll probably go harder with that when I'm in my final retirement phase of my Army career.
Yeah.
But it's like, what do I want to do with all that? And, you know, I've told my story in print at this point with a lot of things. So it's like, to me, that's enough for a lot of them. And then, like, I'm moving into more curation and personal stories as I progress with my books, too. So, like, I already did the complete NES book 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, I'm probably good because not only have I collected it, I've also documented it. And it's like, now I moved on to Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis, working on Turbo next.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's like, which ones do I keep is the question. That's the hard thing. That's the hard thing. And it's fun. And the thing is there's no answer, and it may evolve. And I think that's also part of the hobby, man.
Yeah, it's always changing. And, going into some of our other topics, because, we did have a randomizer. Going back to that, we had a randomizer this week. I played a little bit of it. I played a little bit, and it was Dave the Diver. And
the Diver.
Yeah.
David.
and this game kind of threw me in a loop because I kind of knew what I was expecting, but I wasn't sure what to expect, if that makes any sense. I was just like...
Honestly, like, all I know is that when it first came out, people were saying how cool and chill and fun it was.
Yeah.
And I thought it was going to be, like, action-based, and you, like, have to collect certain things and give it back. But what I didn't expect with Dave the Diver was that you have to, like, serve people sushi.
Yeah. It becomes a mini game within itself. Yeah.
And to me, at first, I was like, I don't even want to freaking play that part. It was the same thing when we were talking, like, Ball X Pit. Like, I don't want to have to build the thing. But then it's, like, so low threat when you do the sushi serving that it's not a big deal. And it also seemed like the diving portion was almost a mini game in itself. It's like the game is like a couple mini games.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like I purposely like went out of my depth or too deep and went past enemies that I knew I couldn't kill and hunting down like secret stuff. Because as you go down, you like use your little grapple to capture fish, and those fish you collect to do the sushi. But then you can go deeper, and then there's like treasure chests and shit.
Yeah, because you're going like down the blue hole, which is like this hole in the middle of the ocean that has like all these different wildlife creatures, and you're like this retired diver, and you love sushi, and I like you said, it's like a bunch of mini games, and I think what really ties it all together is the banter and the dialogue, because it is
hanging out with your like old buddy, and who's let's be honest, he's Paul Niemeyer. The artist, too.
Yeah. I'm glad you said that. I was thinking the same freaking thing, dude.
I literally, as soon as I saw him, I took a picture and sent it to Paul in a text. I'm like, dude, did somebody steal your likeness? He's like, he just has like a tattoo over here instead of on his forearm like Paul does. Now, I am going to do a secret because I'm sure Paul isn't going to be listening to this episode. Maybe he will. Maybe he'll surprise us. But I'm actually, I found the artwork for the pixel art, and I actually have it on a small piece of wood that I etched it laser on. So I'm going to give him his own artwork of himself whenever I go to the next show that he's at. I'm going to be like, there you go, Paul. I have it on the bar right over here. I'm debating whether I'll paint it or not. If I have time before it, I probably will paint it too, to give him a nice little fun thing. But yeah, it's Paul Niemeyer for sure. It's 100% him. But yeah, no, it's really cool. I played two or three nights I played, because you play like iterations, and it's a night, and then you go cook and you go to the sushi thing, and it does another day and another day, and you unlock more abilities and different options and upgrades, and I just got a gun and like that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. So I like the grind of it. I feel like it's really fun. I don't have any issues with it, but I never went back either.
Yeah. There was nothing that like grabbed me that made me be like, I need to keep playing this, other than the fact that, it's on sale. It's on sale right now. It's like
what's it on sale for?
It's like $10 on Steam right now.
Really?
I think it's part of the winter sale. And I believe there's also physical on Switch as well.
Nice. That's awesome. It's amazing. Yeah, and so you said the physical on Switch, definitely confirmed. There definitely is one. But it's hard when these games are on sale on digital to identify buying it unless it's like, again, a curated collection. It's a game that's on the list.
Yeah.
And this might be up there in some of the really fun Switch games, though, from the year. I don't know.
Yeah, it's really, really good. I dug it. Now
Recommend it? Are we going to go back and beat it? Me personally, probably not. What about you?
probably not, because I was going to get into the
Much?
I was about to say I got so caught up in another game.
Well, and before we get to that, are we going to announce what we're going to do for E? Because this was our D game, Dave the Dive.
Yeah. What's the E game?
So I got two options for you. Do you want to go action or do you want to go retro inspired?
Let's go action.
Action, because the retro inspired would have been Eskimo Bob, which was an NES homebrew that's ported to Steam, and it's based off this comic Eskimo Bob. It's a platformer, but the action game I've been wanting to play it. The Expendabros.
The Expendabros.
The Expendabros. Yeah, the Expendabros is the game. Is from Broforce. You get to do Bro Chaser, Bro Johnson, Toll Bro. Like it's basically a Contra style action game. I think there's 2 players, so we could stream it potentially during the holiday weekend. I mean, literally the main front, it looks like Jason Statham, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone.
That's great.
All in the front, and Dolph Lundgren. It looks like the Expenda or what is it? What's the movie? There's like 3 or 4 of them.
The Expendables. Yeah.
The Expendables, but this is the Expendabros. So
Expendabros.
I think it just takes all the action tropes, and like this is one that there was one game called Broforce that I played back in the day.
Broforce is good. That was a good one.
This is good. And so I never really played it, but the Expendabros is an interesting one because like I haven't really messed around with it, but it is definitely an action game like Contra, but and it says it's only single player, so I don't know if we can play it 2-player together unless somebody's modded it. But every single character is made off of like an action star. So there's one that's like Camacho from President Camacho. Yeah. So to me that's a cool one. Let me write down next. The Expendabros. So and you said you were playing something crazy this week.
Oh man. And one of the reasons why I'm probably not going to go back to Dave the Diver is because I've been playing Ghost of Yotei. I got it for Christmas. I know it's not indie, but we always talk about what we've been playing, and this has been okay. First off, I just want to say I'm a huge fan of Ghost of Tsushima. Like Ghost of Tsushima was probably one of my favorite games on the PlayStation 4, and I've always wanted to go back, especially when I got my PS5 because they had a director's cut. But then I heard Ghost of Yotei was coming out, so I was like, I'll wait for the sequel. Got it for Christmas, and it hits all the right notes that I loved about Ghost of Tsushima, but adds something new because it's obviously a sequel, and it has a really cool story because you're playing as like this girl named Atsu, and her family gets killed. She gets stabbed to a tree, left for dead while the tree's burning. Somehow she lived, and she's hunting down the Yotei 6 that took down her family. So it's got that Kill Bill kind of story to it in like feudal Japan. Man, and it's one of those games that you will have a mission, but you'll get distracted by 6 other things that you're trying to do.
Well, and was Ghost of Tsushima, was that the one where you could like hit a button and it would show like these little pedals to show you
the wind, pedals. You follow the wind. Oh,
okay. Yeah, because I definitely played it on PS5 later for like through the first boss. And it's definitely a Souls-like game, but you're a samurai, basically. That's what I got out of it, was Souls-like. But it was not Dark Souls or Elden Ring or anything like that, because it wasn't to me it wasn't brutally difficult to go.
Oh yeah,
at first. Yes, it was like easier to kill people. I guess.
It's definitely not as hard as like a Souls-like game. What I do like about it is it's also not just like a crazy hack and slash either. Like there's parts where like you'll fight like 3 or 4 people. You'll take the first 2 people down. That last guy, he's like really good, and you have to like spar and parry, and
That's fun.
And it's like fencing, but with like different weapons and stuff.
It's like you're playing an old school like martial arts flick.
Yeah, it is so good. Like
I love it.
I mean, it's one of those games I wouldn't be playing right now if I didn't get it for Christmas because I was like, man, $70. I don't know, you know. But I've put about like 20 hours into it already. So, and I've only scratched the surface. So it's been good. It's been good. It's the game I've wanted right now. It's like, oh, this is nice.
Well, and like speaking of scratching the surface, like we were talking about it off episode, and it's not in the notes, but like Metroid Prime 4 seemed to be the same type of deal where we feel like we're just scratching the surface with it. And there was something that I was realizing because I had played it the last time, and I hadn't played it since, but like essentially I got lost. I got the upgrade chip for the heat to do a heat shot or something. And I was like, I don't know where the hell to go. So I went back to where I got to a spot. It said, oh, I need to go do the thing. I went and did the thing, went back, and that's not where you go. And I'm like, well, what the hell do you do? And I found out, though, that you have to continually like go back to the Volt Forge area where you got the bike, I guess, continually through. And it doesn't tell you this until you wander for a while. So I noticed that a lot of people being pretty critical of Metroid Prime 4, except for it's beautiful. It plays great. But like there's a lot of little frustration points. I didn't realize at the main area when you're going around the desert, there's a bunch of green crystals. Apparently you have to like collect them all to go to the end of the game. Like not to collect them all for anything, but you had to go to the end of the game, you have to collect them all. So I was like, that has been like pissing a lot of people off.
One of my turnoffs on Prime 4 is the fact you have to scan everything. Like,
well,
I missed out on
2.
Apparently so. Like, if you had to scan everything to get like the true ending to the game.
Oh, yeah. See, so for me, as long as I can beat the game at this point, I used to be an OCD gamer, like had to do completionist shit. But since I only play games for like 15 minutes now, I would like to just get enjoyment. I don't try to do all that anymore. And if I can get to an ending, I'm cool to watching the next one on YouTube and not spending hours doing something like monotonous.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with that. Now, for the listeners, is there anything that we're missing? Because I'm leaning into not playing much anymore, and that's a waste of $70 game. Like, right, go back. Like, what is the reason for us to go back? So tell us.
Yeah.
Because, like, for real. Because, like, I'm leaning toward not doing it. And, like, the game that I played this week, besides for tinkering with the multi-system, is where I'm kind of probably going in 2026. It's a lot of retro reimagining games.
Yeah, tell us more about this.
So, Ninja Gaiden Shadow DX. And this is in the realm of indie because this is a fan-made colorization of Ninja Gaiden Shadow for the Game Boy. And so this is the Game Boy Ninja Gaiden game. Plays like Ninja Gaiden on the NES, which the Game Boy game does. But the DX one puts it all with like a colorization for a Game Boy Color. And so it looks freaking amazing. It's because the Game Boy Color was comparable to the Nintendo Entertainment System. It actually had more colors than the Nintendo Entertainment System. Like the palette was a little bit better, but it was on the tiny Game Boy. Well, I'm using FPGA and playing it on a big TV like an NES, sitting back, like I sit back here and just play it on the NES. And like, so it is awesome. Like I sent you a little video clip that I was doing. I think I sent it to a few of the Patreons or in the Patreon group on Discord. And it's like, it looks awesome. Like the fire effects and things. And I don't know how the guy who customized it, the one who did the ROM hacking or whatever they did, how they got like all the black and white to understand that this would be a fire piece, or this would be, because the backgrounds look amazing. The attacks look great. It plays like the original Game Boy one, super tight, and it plays awesome. And of course, I could use save states, so I don't have to like start over the entire level when I die at a boss, which is I can just, I save it outside the boss thing and go in there, and I'll fight through the boss over and over again as I learn the patterns again, because it's been a while. And at second level on, it gets challenging for the boss fights. The levels are grindy, like they're just like Ninja Gaiden. It's great. Like you get destroyed by flying enemies and other things. But it is really cool. And this guy's done a bunch of different retro games too. So Ninja Gaiden Shadow DX. I think I'm in world or level 3 or 4 right now. I'm not even don't even remember how many levels there are because it's a Game Boy game. Probably not a ton.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would like to beat it. So that would be the first game I beat in 2026. I think that'd be kind of dope.
That would be cool. I'll have to check that out. And speaking of checking out, we're going into our new and noteworthy, some really interesting games to talk about this week. And again, these are games that we found on Steam that were like, hey, these are kind of cool. Let's talk about them. And if you, the listeners, have played any of these games, be sure to leave a comment. Let us know if we're right or wrong about our assumptions and first impressions of these titles. Because this one right here, the very first one,
this is 100% a random smattering. We build these lists as we hunt them down and find them. So I think we're like 2 or 3 months with games that we can cover. So no rhyme or reason. And as you mentioned, first game released in September of 2025.
Yeah, this game right here called Mycorelic. It's spelled really, really interesting. But
I mean, if I take it to 3 words, Mycorelic. Mycorelic, how I see it. But it's also Mycorelic. So, like, which is it, developers? Because they capitalize the R in one of the ways. Mycorelic.
It's really cool. It looks
awesome.
What I really like about the characters is they look like if you ever put together like a higher end Gundam, like the ones that actually have a frame to it, like the like a regular grade, the RG grade or something. It looks like the frame of like Gunpla, but it's like they have different, little weapons that they can use, and it looks cool. I really like the art style to it.
Like the whole backgrounds, the trees, the effects, everything looks hand drawn. And that's how I want it to look when you're having a game. The characters are like almost like little robotic like entities, and they're like made up of like pieces. Like the arms are made up of like different shapes and things, which I think are really cool. The game itself, though, it says it's a cooperative third-person action RPG. And so they're called tribal mushroom robots, by the way. With that an interesting pen. It's a single player game, but you can play online cooperatively. So this is a game that we could play with listeners, potentially. Mycorelic is made by Sandy Dingo Games. It's in early access, and there is a demo available. It is $15 on sale, 20% off currently for $12. And it says it is similar to Elden Ring, a game that I played, according to Steam. I don't think it's a Souls-like. It does say Souls-like on it, actually. So maybe it is.
That would be fun. I mean, I'm looking at the combat and just seeing how you can do like the different parries and stuff. Like, I mean, of course, playing Ghost of Yotei, like this is like my jam right now, like that sort of combat.
Yeah,
it's really cool. It's got a pretty good positive rating as well.
Well, and like some of the screenshots, like within the like about section, it shows multiple like people working together to fight enemies, and it says you can scavenge parts in the world to enhance your robotic body, so you can customize every piece of your body, which that looks really, really cool. So a Souls-like that you can customize. There's some platforming in there to make things frustrating for us, which is cool. That's very Breath of the Wild to me, because the graphics, the backgrounds are very light, like a Breath of the Wild. And then they're still doing some new patches too. And so they just did patches last month, like before the holidays started. So they're continually updating it. I mean, I think this is one that we should try to like figure out with listeners and try to find a little way for us to all play it.
Yeah, that would be a fun one, especially like you said, like scavenging like parts and stuff. I could imagine some really hilarious like moments with that. But this next game is actually I had to look into it. It you can play this game normally, but it's also a VR game as well.
Really?
Yeah, this is Titan Isles. It's a co-op first-person action game. And man, it looks beautiful. Like, this is a really pretty game.
I mean, it reminds me of like the fun that I had playing with Halo back in the day, except for like your character is like running all the time.
Yeah.
It's doing the run. You get to pilot exosuits, so we're in the robot territory again, which is fun. And again, this graphics in this look amazing. Also released in September, then updated in December, and it says the game does require VR to play though.
So maybe it is just a VR game. Hey, the boss that's listening to the podcast right now, he's a huge VR fan. So this might be up his alley. It's only $13.99, Ross. Only 13.
Well, and also let us know, because like I've been on the fence of VR forever. My main thing is that, my eyesight was bad, but I got laser surgery last year, so I probably can play some VR now. It would just be interesting because, with Steam creating the Steam machine and then the VR headset thing.
Oh, yeah.
Controller, this might be one of those games that's worth, adding to that library. It just, my question is it enough to merit playing a full game, or is it like mini games? And it seems like this is a full game, Xander.
It does, which is insane.
It is.
Now, this next game, man, this game looked like a lot of fun. I like these kind of games because I like that last year playing Wobbly Life with my friend Mikey. This game kind of makes you think of that. This is a game called Try to Drive.
Xander.
It looks like a cooperative bike game, like platformer. Like you have different trials.
Random bike.
Yeah, it's so weird but cool. Like, and the footage I'm showing is actually their holiday patch they did. They did a recent like holiday, so it's all like Christmas like, but it's not always Christmas.
No, it has multiple, but they did an update because this game is also released in September, updated in December to add this holiday patch. Yeah, you ride on tandem bikes though. You can play 2-player co-op, couch co-op, or online. Imagine playing online on headsets, going steer. Get that? It's normally $5 on sale, 50% off right now, so it's $2.50, which is pretty cool. Yeah, they've been updating things consistently over the months too, which is really cool to see the developers do it. But it seems like this game's frustrating as shit. Like, I don't know how you're doing, like, jumping on platforms to go over things. Like, it seems like this game would be near impossible to play, like, but I think that's the intent.
Yeah. This is probably like one of those good like co-stream, like two live streamers playing something like this. Like I could have them, having a good time. I was looking at the developers, and it's Red Core Games. This is the only game they've worked on. They haven't put out anything else. But yeah, these games are always fun. They're cheap. They're entertaining. I don't know how long it would be entertaining. It depends on how frustrated you'd probably get at the end of the day.
Yeah,
but it's cool. I like it.
I mean, and it reminds me of some of the other like physics-based games that you play, like you said, Wobbly Life and others. Yeah, really cool.
All right, and this next game, which this other game always tries to pop up, this is Scarleth, which is
this hits me right in the 2D Zelda-like feels.
I was like, yeah, this is a Jeff game right here. This is Zelda-like.
Totally an action RPG with 2D aesthetics overhead, because that's my specific jam. As doing the 3D Breath of the Wilds and Ghost of Yotei technically is great, but like jumping back into the Super Nintendo era where I came into my own as a game, like this is the fun stuff right here. It's the stuff I like.
Yeah, it's on sale right now. It's normally looks like normally like a $20 game, but it's on sale for $12.72. Offer ends on January 5th, so it's part of that winter sale.
It was released in May of 25, and it's been updated consistently. In the game, it has a vast world to explore, different accessories. There's lots of myths to it, so it has a big like mythical story. You can create like resources to do magical powers, which seems like hopefully they don't complicate that, because that'd be pretty fun. There's secrets everywhere, which I like hunting down secrets in my Zelda likes. And you also can level up, which is which is an interesting piece. I always like to see what they do with leveling up on these things because, yeah, for me, it's like the system in it. If it's just like, completely steals from Zelda, it's not as interesting all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely want to have like its own identity playing the Zelda-like, like something that makes it stick out from, because otherwise you just play Link to the Past at the end of the day.
And I will, and there's something to be said about the infinite Link to the Past. That is the randomizer that they've created, and you can literally continually generate your own Link to the Past randomizers forever to play new games. So Scarleth hopefully gives us something new, and it's definitely one I want to check out this year.
Yeah, and this one, I wanted to check this one out because I think I've seen this like on the Nintendo eShop, and I was like, But Castle of Heart Retold. You embark on a challenging quest to defeat the evil sorcerer as a cursed warrior in this dark fantasy action platformer. This game looks really cool because it kind of makes you think of like what I would want to see in a 3D Castlevania. That's what it makes me think of.
Have you heard of this series at all, Xander?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, so the original Castle of Heart, which I think there was 2 of these games, if I recall right. It was more like a mobile style back in the day, and they've since updated this. This is the updated version. They've remade the whole thing, refined it, and it is an experience. I think that they had an arcade version of the original Castle of Heart that was in like Dave & Buster's.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this game was released in October. So Jet Cave Adventure and Kong Survival Instinct have also been something that the publisher has worked on. 7 levels. But yeah, like this game though, remastered, seems like it's now like a full style game, which I feel like if they've remixed and remastered and made the controls better and everything, this seems like this is right up our alley to play, like a fun action game. Seems like too, it's going to be like momentum based, where you're going to continually beat the shit out of stuff and moving forward, learning style. It does seem like that.
Yeah, I really like it. The price is where I'm like, because it is a $15 game. It's on sale for like $11.24, so it's a little bit more than $10. That's probably where the mixed reviews are coming from, because it is a little bit more pricier for the kind of game that it is, because this is, I don't know, interesting.
Yeah, very interesting to see the price on it based on what you're getting from it, especially if it was a remake of a mobile style game.
Exactly.
The next one though goes into the budget and gives you more bang for your buck, Xander.
Yes, this one right here is Slugterra All-Stars. What makes this game really interesting is you're essentially getting, 4 games in the one?
4 games. So it says it's 4 fan favorite games, which I'm not sure what community these games were in. Interesting thing is this game was released in April 25, but last updated August to 24. So I guess it was an early release for a while. But the games that it says are the Battle for Slugterra, Secret of the Shadow Mines, Slug Run, and Slug Wars. So one of these games looks like a running style where you're collecting coins and things. One looks like a tactical style game, probably the Advanced Wars, Slug Wars. There's one where it looks like it's an overhead action game. And then there's like another one that looks like an action platformer, either Contra or Metroidvania, like who's to say what type. But yeah, 4 different games in one. I think that they're trying to give you a bang for your buck. Normally, it is an $8 game. It is on sale for $6, so they have sales for it, which is nice. And there's lots of puzzle solving in some of these games, and fun-based experience that get bang for your buck, Xander. So that's good.
Yeah, it looks like one of those games where you're like, we love all these kind of genres. Let's just make these almost like micro games, like boom, 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 boom. That's what it sounds like to me. It looks really, really cool. This next game is really, really cool too. It said, what would you say this is another Zelda-like?
I think this is more of a puzzle exploration game. I don't know if there's a whole lot of action, because it's called Chronoquartz, and what it says is you have 10 turns per loop to solve the puzzles and get to progress in the levels. So you have a minimum amount of moves, and I'm not sure if that's like button presses or like actions that you do.
Mm.
So that's an interesting perspective that I've not seen. Because it shows like they'll be like taking a block and putting it in place, or putting a, like a bridge over over a piece of lava, or like, I think each one is an actual turn that you do. And so I think it's all time based, where you have to go as fast as possible.
Huh. Not bad. There is a demo, so I mean, if you're unsure, you can check out the demo. It is on sale. It's less than $8. It's like $7.50 or $7.49 if you want to be exact. But yeah, it looks cool. It's got very positive reviews. Developer and published by Infinite Stairs. Always climbing.
Always climbing infinitely. It's the interesting thing too is that like they want you to play through this game multiple times to memorize and learn things. So it's not going to be like a short experience that you should expect to like play through and beat with skill.
Yeah.
It's going to take like, experience and knowledge, Xander. Experience and knowledge.
Well, speaking of experience and knowledge, we had to really use some knowledge and experience with our budget section, because it's absolutely crazy right now. There are so many games on sale.
Are they all still on sale? I think a lot of them are. And like, I feel like we'll cover like a couple and then just kind of like dry fire the rest, because this is still a giant list from the holidays too. And I think the first game in the list is something we should cover in depth, and then kind of rapid fire. Because this one was not part of the other ones. I just found this one in my wish list that came on sale. And it is by 2.5B Gaming Studio. The game is called Infernos Numine, Descent into Darkness. Game is normally $6, and it's on sale for $1.19, Xander.
Yeah, it looks fun. It does look kind of like, in some parts, because I was like catching the B-roll, and there was like a boss fight that was like taking really a long time. I think it was more gameplay than a trailer. I was expecting to see a trailer, but it looks a lot like a lot of work in progress, because there's definitely some there could be some things that could use some polish. But then again, I mean, it looks fun. I like when he does this. When he's throwing the fireballs up, he looks Italian. He's like, hey.
Hey, goes like this.
Yeah.
Fusion them off. Flipping them off. And now maybe this is a proof of concept because of the developer. This is the first game that they have listed on Steam. Mm-hmm. So maybe this game is like a proof of concept, which is why it's so affordable as well.
Yeah.
Definitely worth picking up for $1. It's in all these games are in my library that we talk about here, because like I always try them out for a couple bucks. I want to support indie devs as much as I possibly can. Yeah, it does seem like it's, like you said, like it's proof of concept, or
still look fun,
reworked. And I would say for $5, he's probably not reworking it. He probably just created some stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure. Now, going into some of the budgets, I will
dry fire. Holy shit.
One of them I did want to talk about is RoboKid. RoboKid looks like a lot of fun.
RoboKid.
Yeah, this one right here is it still on sale? That's the good question. Let me see. Oh, it's still on sale.
Got it. It was $1.74.
Still is. Yep.
Nice. Yeah. So tell me about RoboKid.
It looks It looked, I mean, I saw the name and I thought of Atomic RoboKid, which is totally not Atomic RoboKid. Yeah, this is more of a
little like weapon that goes like this.
Yeah, he has a One Direction weapon, and it's very symmetrical. It's got a very symmetrical kind of art style to it. It looks like it'd be fun though. It's by Nova Ray X.
It almost looks like it's claymation. That's how like crazy the graphics look.
Yeah.
Like they're just well done, like very artsy. It's not claymation, but it looks like it.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah, it's very shiny.
Dude, there was one in here I couldn't believe it was $1.49, and it has a Switch physical, which is hard to justify when it's $1.49. It's Rogue Legacy, man.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, it was $1. Like, wow, this is where it's hard to not be a Steam gamer, Xander. And like, as I collect physically, it's just going to be for the games that really connect with me. Because Rogue Legacy is amazing, and Rogue Legacy 2 is amazing. And so getting that game for $1.49, that's a no-brainer. There's another one, Chips Challenge 2. The original Chips Challenge was on the Atari Lynx. And so Chips Challenge 2, and that is released on Steam, the original. But Chips Challenge 2 is like a sequel, spiritual successor. I don't know if there's a port of the old PC version or if it's brand new to Steam. But that's another one that has like a pedigree. And, it's a little bit of, homebrew, but, ported to new things. Were there any other weird names that popped up that were like interesting for you, Xander? This is a giant fucking list.
Yeah, it's a giant list. I will say the last one we'll talk about is Ed. Game called Ed. It's $1.49, and it looks like almost like a creative kind of game as a prototype of your game design levels anytime. So it's a programmer. It's
like a creator.
Yeah, like that's interesting.
Yeah, and like it looks pretty basic and pretty fun to do. And the fact that it's normally $30 and it's $1.49 on sale. The offer ends probably before we air this episode, but it's definitely worth $1 to mess around with. My question with all of these, because we never have any time, Xander, is there a way to just download other people's levels? Because that is my main thing.
Ooh.
I don't want to play, or I don't want to create my own games because I don't have the time. It's the same reason why I had NES Maker since it was released on Kickstarter. I was backer number 1 for NES Maker, but I've never made a full-out game. Like, I did one trial game for the first bite off, which was Happy Scrappy Hero Pup, and might go into at the end of this episode when we talk about our goals for 26. Off topic. But this game here, though, does have room-based Metroidvania support. It looks cool as shit. And it does say, because I was looking as I was thinking through the build layout, it says JSCN. You could export to a zip package, and you can file in your favorite engine to give your creation life. So you can export into Unity.
Okay.
So maybe you can create your game and then port it to Steam.
That's cool.
So Ed might let you make your own video games, Xander, like real ones.
Man,
that's interesting.
Well, here's a question I want for the listeners. Since we have so many budgets, I want to ask the listeners, what is a really good deal you got during the winter sale, like a good indie game, and what was the name of it? Can you recommend it? Because let me tell you, man, we did our top 2025 video, and right after we were done with that and uploaded on YouTube, we had so many of our listeners were talking about more and more games. I was like, oh my god,
way to overwhelm us.
Oh my gosh. Because every week or so, I'll have some of the listeners Last Line. He'll send me a game or something, or he'll be like, check this out, and it's just man, there's just so much going on, so many games, dude.
Dude, and that is the thing. I feel like we'll talk a little homebrew. I only added one this week because we had so much other stuff to talk about, and then I wanted to talk what are our goals for 26, because that is where I think us having goals. Because again, infinite freaking games. Every week we're talking about a dozen new things.
Well, it kind of circles back to when we were talking about collecting too. When we were collectors, we wanted to get everything. As gamers, you want to play everything. And especially when you have a podcast where, the more you play, the more content you're going to have, and you want to have content. So you have to kind of find a good middle ground. And I think, like you said, a goal, I think that would be a great way to kind of trim the fat. And
the thing that was interesting is Indie Credibles started because I was finding all these games and I was working on creating a book. The problem is that 100 games in one book is a giant freaking tome, just 100 games. And we've covered more than that in the podcast so far. So then it's we're going to curate and have fun with an indie book, because I already have it already templated out. It just takes forever to write reviews in an interesting way that I like to do. So it's now it's just you have all the games and continually want to play them, but there's no time because we both have families and work and do all the things. And it's like, what do we want to do for 2026?
Yeah, because then sometimes you have those games that they just grab you. Like myself will Ghost of Yotei. I haven't really played anything else because that game's like taken every single minute I have. But
that either.
exactly.
I mean, and then there's times where I'm sitting there and I was playing my Steam Deck yesterday because, I mean, we're recording right in the new year for this episode because we record a little bit early. And I was just playing this game that's basically Picross, but with a story mode. It's like Picross Adventure or Pixel Adventure or something. That was literally doing Picross things in a world, in like an overworld map Zelda style. And it was cool shit. And then I played so long that my Steam Deck died, the battery life. And so I'm like, oh, I'm going to stop that now. But I was just playing it while we were watching Star Wars movies because we watch Star Wars movies during the holidays. And I was just doing little pixel like brain teasers while I was doing it. And it's just a fun game to mindlessly play. And so, yeah, that's the question though. What are some goals that we want to do this year to like focus on for video games, Xander?
Yeah. Well, before we get into our goals, because, while we're pondering what to play, you got Retro Bro, which is a member of our Discord, creating games. And he's got a new homebrew coming out. It's on Kickstarter right now. And it's called Ethos.
And as far as I'm tracking, Ethos is a Metroidvania.
Mm-hmm.
He had wanted me to do some artwork, and I mean artwork by paintings for his like limited edition. But I was like, well, if you limit it to like 10, otherwise I can't paint 1,000 things. It would take me all year. So I'm like, I just don't have the time for it. But yeah, I think he wants to do this really cool limited edition. So I unfortunately wasn't going to be doing a limited item with this game unless I do something non-painted. I told him how to do something non-painted. I can absolutely do that. But no, this is a sci-fi Metroidvania for the NES. It's like ethosgame.com is the website that takes you to the Kickstarter page, which is cool. He has a little forwarding. It is not live yet, but it's on Kickstarter, and you can click the notify button so that way when he launches, you'll get an email, which is nice. The game itself looks really like cool. It's like very minimalist. Your character's like this tiny little guy that you play with. That gives the levels, it lets them sprawl a little bit larger, which is cool.
Exactly.
There is a Xander style demo available on the page right now, so you can actually play. And he needs to QAQC's page says, one of the best NES games I've ever played is the quote that he has. You change that to the brother. I mean, GFD Gaming might have said that, the verbatim. Maybe he left there. He did verbatim. Now, the Retro Bro does have his own Discord as well that you can join from there just to follow along. And it's cool to see a little community with it. RGB Entertainment. So I take it that's like Retro Bro Gaming Entertainment.
Yeah.
RGB. There's currently about 30 members. I will just click the button and join his Discord just so that way y'all know I'm in Discord as well. And so whether I'll actually be participating is if y'all tag me in it. You have to tag me. But yeah, this is one that looks really cool. I love Metroidvanias, and it will absolutely make it into one of my Metroidvania books after I play it and give it a whirl. I'll review it and have a good time with it.
Yeah, and it looks like the Kickstarter will launch on the 3rd of February. So
nice.
You guys have plenty of time after listening to this episode to hit notify me on launch and help support this really cool Metroidvania. I mean, I've known John for years, and to see, that he's progressed so much, because we were talking about the NES Maker, and that's what he uses a lot for his games, is NES Maker. He started out with the very basics, and you go from that to what this is. And I'm like, wow, that's really, really cool. Really cool pixel art, really great and fantastic music. The music's really good. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
So
I think starting with like goals for the year, I think the first thing we should hit is like our project-based goals. Because like obviously I enjoy doing the Indie Credible podcast. I feel like us doing some kind of physical content this year would be fun. Maybe we hit like summer, fall time frame, do some kind of physical content. Depends if the army decides to freaking move me this year. Like, let's be honest, like, because that'll be about the time I'll be moving. But I think doing some kind of first 2 years in a physical format of some type would be fun. I mean, you and I have been playing some music, doing some music remastering shit too, so maybe we do some fun with that. I don't know. Well, I think that's a good goal. But my other goal is I have a bunch of books that have been in the works for a year, so I want to get the Switch books out because Switch Year 3 is completely done. This holiday season, I actually wrote and finished my top 100 games. I finished writing it during the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I have 100 games for the Switch years 1 through 3 that are essential. I'm making into a little booklet, so that's going to be a bonus thing. So that's like a spring project for me, would be the Switch collector. And then I want to get Metroidvania Year 3 done, like Phase 3. Because I want to create the Metroidvania Legacy, a giant tome. And I want to get Phase 3 done first before I jump into the tome. I want to like hit the third of the trilogy. So yeah, that's a couple of my short-term goals. Obviously, I want to continue finishing up the TurboGrafx book, the indie book, because we need to do it and maybe it's an indie credible book that we do as a physical piece.
That would be cool.
Been talking that, and we add like games that we've covered on the show, as well as stuff we haven't covered that are just cool. Because again, 20,000, 30,000 games a year, we're not covering even a smidgen.
I know.
The show.
I mean, we will cover like 7 or 10 new and noteworthies, and we'll have folks in the comments tell us like 5 other games we missed
that we should play, or Facebook page, the Indie Gaming Gem Facebook page, where it's like today there was 3 or 4 games posted by Lunchbox, and it's like there's just so many. Thunderdome's always posting stuff, and they all look cool as shit.
Which mind you, other than the Facebook group page, we're also on Discord as well. It's all free to join, as well as Jeff's Patreon. You can join that, and for me, like my goals, other than the
project base.
Yeah, other than the podcast, I mean, I got a couple of tracks that I've been working on. I got another black metal song that's like based off the ring raves from Lord of the Rings. It's called Shadows of the Nine. That's what that's called. So I got that.
I've heard a little bit of the starts of it.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I mean, I got that. My main thing is like when I put the song out, I want to make another video for it. So that's what I'm kind of thinking as the music
Your
video.
Crazy, dude.
Yeah. Like I was like, I want to do a music video for it. So it's really interesting because, you know, I play everything on it. So I'm going to have in this video, I have an idea to make it more distinctive between instruments and stuff. So with visuals. So that's one of my goals. I do have some other music I'm working on and just trying to be more creative with the actual channel, you know, because I put out a video, my 2025 recap. And I know I had a comment from the last line. He was like, man, he's like, there needs to be more Xander videos. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I need to make more Xander videos. So what I've been doing is,
what would be your perfect storm reasonable goal? Is it like one a month? Is that reasonable?
I think so. I think that's what I'm working on. Like I'm working on trying to make, you know, one video a month that I can actually make it what I would want 3 or 4 videos a week to be. You know, like I would want them to be very like productive wise and edited very well. So yeah, you know, I have a video that I'm working on that's about done. It's probably gonna be up shortly before this. It's definitely be up before this episode, but it's my top 10 TurboGrafx 16 games. And
perfect.
Yeah, I got that. Also have a couple other topics, and I think that's the thing. I'm gonna be doing video topics. And maybe
like you're working on topics and growing your channel. I'm working on trying to get more physical out there because like I got back all of because I got all the Sega CD books shipped out during the holidays, and there are a lot of people wanting like some of my old books, but also the next ones that they've been waiting for years. And so like it's cool to see people so interested, but it's also like challenging to get it all, because like doing the books or not, it takes time, and
Yeah.
like, and that takes away from playing games or
Yeah.
doing other things that I'm doing like with family at the house too. So it's like, what do I focus on? Because I mean, I like to tinker. I like to tinker with my damn MiSTer too.
Yeah.
And that'll also give me content. Like I could, like, and the thing is that I have so many damn ideas that could be full-fledged books. That's just like, it's that getting them done that a lot of people can't do. That's the thing. And like, that takes years.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. Cause I mean, we only have so many hours during the day. I mean, we're recording this on the first day of 2026, like we're already there. And, sometimes you have like 3 or 4 hours of free time and you're like, do I use that to play video games or do I record music? Because that's my issue, like I'll spend 2 hours just mixing vocals on a song.
Oh, 100%.
I'll do that. And I'm like, oh, I didn't get to play anything,
Think about the rabbit hole we've talked about when it comes to projects is I think it's about a week straight, like 24 hours times 7 of content recorded from music from over the last like 20 years with Kyle and our buddy John, and I've been, and they both passed away, but using certain websites and things, you can sit there and remaster all the music. And I've been going down, there'll be some nights I'm just down a rabbit hole, like remastering our music, and it sounds amazing. And then it like takes it and it makes it mathematically sound and all the things, and like it puts it in a wheelhouse that I could realistically play with, like you and our other buddy who is the legend in Japan, and like we got drama, like it's realistically could be redone in a professional way. And like you're working on your chops with your music videos and shit too at the same time.
Yeah,
it's something where that could be a legitimate touring metal band that has professional development in the future. And those are the rabbit holes that we go down. And it's like, it was just fun to do, just tinker around. And there was one other project that I was thinking about doing, and now that we're talking like the retro bro and how it's progressed and everything, I actually I do have a copy of Nestmaker. And like I said, backer number 1, I have the old Nintendo. It's gold, and they actually had a custom-made Nintendo that my cartridge burner does. It's in storage. I don't have it with me since I moved like many years ago. But I'm like, man, I could finish Happy Scrappy Hero Pup.
Would be cool. That would be cool.
Finish. It was Happy Scrappy and the Haunted Mansion is what it was called. And, it's based off my dog Scrappy Doo, who's since he's passed years ago because he was an old dog, like passed from old age years ago. And so like it would be cool to do the Happy Scrappy game finally, because he looks like Scrappy Doo from Scooby Doo too. So like that would be cool to finish that up. It is a Metroidvania style game, and you don't do that as your first game, which I found out real quickly.
Yeah.
But the demo that we released in the very first bite off, I was working with a couple other community members. One did the music, one did a lot of the back programming to it. It played okay. You could play from start to get to an end and fight the cross-eyed kitty, who is the bad guy. Kitty. But yeah, it was very rudimentary. Like the animations were terrible. It was very early Nestmaker too.
Yeah.
And of course, Nestmaker is transforming this year to Retro Game Forge, which I think is gonna have modules for like Genesis and Super Nintendo and other things. Like Joe Granato's going crazy, which I love. Love to see it.
Well, speaking of crazy, before we wrap this up, we're gonna have to just let you guys know again. You can join Jeff's Patreon. It's free to join, as well as our Discord. And Jeff, what's going on in your neck of the woods, Patreon wise?
So with the Patreon, I finished and we showed it off, all of the Patreon exclusives for 2025, the Metroidvania wooden sleeve that we created. I'm still going back and looking at, I did a trivia thing last quarter, and if they got the game correct, I was going to make them the wooden art for the game that they got right. So I have to print all those, and then I need to mail those. But we had new patrons join the executive producer tier, and I've edited my tiers for 2026. So number 1, it's free to join. You can follow along. You get first access, first chop on certain stuff that we launch. You'll be able to see the Indie Credible first. That's where I post it initially when we first upload it. And then there is a new tier that is like $5 a month. And essentially you get to contribute to every one of the things that I do. So if you want to have a story in, the upcoming Switch Collector Year 3, you're on that tier, I'm reaching out to you and say, hey, do you want to do this story? That's an easy way to do it, and you get to participate. If you want to put stuff on my blog, you can put stuff on my blog too. And then we have the executive producer tier, which is $10 a month. You get the limited slipcase at the end of the year. Every quarter, I'm going to send you some physical treats because I'm always working on projects. And you still can do all the stuff at the $5 tier, mind you. But that being said, I've limited it to only 10 because I realized with doing these slipcases, I ain't doing more than 10 of these. So we actually have 8 right now. So for these, so it's actually 8 total now, which again, we don't pay for promotions and do all the marketing things. Like, this is all natural ground. People who are super interested in what we do and they love, hanging out and talking and the cool shit that we make and promote. So, we have 8 now. We have 2 new ones for 2026 that will be in. They have it in like Flynn for the next whatever book we decide we're going to do a wooden bookcase for. And I probably will do a wooden book sleeve for Switch Collector Year 3, part of the Kickstarter, as I have done for previous Switch books, which means that wouldn't necessarily be a good candidate for the end of the year one, but I could do a different artwork. So. Yeah.
Ooh, cool. Well, we had to give a big shout to our executive producers like Akaroth
and David Isherwood over in the UK.
And the disgruntled gamer from Thunderdome Gaming Society.
And Jesse Glenn. Jesse Glenn!
Jacob Henderson.
And Brian Pittman.
And one of our new producers, Kai Henderson.
And then the latest and greatest, Alex. When he signed up, his name fully in kanji, so overseas. Fully in kanji. I was like, hey, what name do you want to use? He says, Alex. I'm like, all right, so maybe it is this Alex from Cunha.
There you go.
Alex and Ricky, baby.
And again, guys, we want to thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Indie Credible Podcast. As always, happy gaming and support indie. Down the rabbit hole we go.